So let's get these RCs fixed up real quick. We got the spring. It's probably just going to be the shock rod end. Oh, something's broken shock. I can see it leaning. Oh yeah, snapped off a shock, lost the spring. So there's the spring, busted front shock. Some people were saying, well, I'll just get the LMT. Oh, the steering. Why is the steering so bad? Oh yeah, it did. I don't remember the steering servo being bad, but it's 100%. Steering is no good. We're just gonna pop the body off real quick. Went to the hobby store, took a look at it real quick. It's just a shock rod end, so should be easy to fix up. I did get some universal shock rod ends, but I think I'm just gonna do a repair on this one because it just pulled the threads, just soft plastic. But there's an easy way to fix it. So I'll pull this off. I stuck it back in. Just pulled the threads, which happens on bad landings. Oh, now it's leaking. Now it's stuck my fingers together. Got glue all over my fingers. That bump stop in there. Wrong way. Close up this glue that's making a mess. And then I picked up some Traxxas shock rod ends in case they break again. Some 1942s. So those work for pretty much all of these, the tenacity, everything. So we'll just let it sit like that. And yeah, you can tell it's been bottoming out just from the jumps. So that's going to go ahead and fix this one. And I'm going to get the LMT up here and we're going to put a steering servo on it. Be right back. All right. So went ahead and got a Reef 777. We're going to go ahead and get that replaced out. Hopefully there's an extension harness. Losi's been doing these clips underneath for a while now. So let's see. Gonna be the next size up. That had some Loctite on it. Get that out of the way. Into the box, I think. Two zip ties. It's on the upper link. It's funny, I didn't change the uppers. I've only changed the lowers. I know I bought uppers for this. And next size down for the receiver box, I think. Cover. Alright, let's see where this is at. So it's in the first slot, 1 to steer, 2 to burn. Hopefully I don't have to remove that receiver. That should be it. And this looks to be the same metal body servo as the other Razor. So come on. Hopefully, this is the right thing for the servo saver. I don't remember him asking me, and I forgot to ask. Yeah, that seems too big. All right. So, called the hobby shop. And I ordered, they offer the 25 tooth for this. So I went ahead and ordered it. Won't be in until next week. So meanwhile, just going to put the plastic servo saver on it. Or the plastic servo arm that comes with the Reef's kit. Just so it's together. And I'm going to take this one, this servo saver off. Problem with doing that is if you bash and you start hitting the wheels, I think this servo is strong enough, but normally you'll strip out some gears in the servo, which would suck. But they offer different ones for that. And then I was looking for a regular servo arm that, you know, I figured I might have a metal servo horn, and I can't find it. I know I got some, but when you have this many parts, it's hard to find everything. So we're just going to use what comes in this kit for now until the part shows up. next week, and then I'll swap it out. So I'll undo the wire, because the wire is going to have to be zip tied. Huh. I wonder why this one looks like it has power and ground and then signal. Like this one takes a battery. I am going to have to check on that. Is this definitely the wrong servo? Because I wanted the Reef's raw. That's what I was looking for. These metal sleeves will slip onto your bolt and take up the slop for the round hole in here. That way you don't have any play. Then let me grab the remote, we'll power it up and center this thing. Remote is on. Steering, let's center it. That clicking is centering the steering. All right, so reading the back of this thing, high torque servo, this 777, it says that the voltage is from 10 volt to 14 volts. So since I run 3S or 4S, right now it's got a 3S which is 11.1, 4S is 14.6. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to put one of these pigtails right to the power and ground like I do with a voltage regulator, and I'm going to run it external, so whatever battery I plug in is just going to give that much power to the servo. Now Reefs does sell a balance port adapter that will plug into that. The problem is their 3S adapter is different than their 4S adapter, which means I would have to buy two different adapters, kind of like I do with the fans, and I'm just not willing to do that. Or I can put external BEC and run it that way. But that's just more junk to go wrong inside this RC. I kind of like to keep it as stock as possible. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. It's either that or, you know, should have just bought a Spectrum servo for this thing. Rather than just buying a better, you know, a better servo, which the Reef servo is a better servo. It's going to give me a lot better torque, and like I said, I've already got the other plug or the other servo saver on its way. So for now, this is what I have, and this is what I'm going to do to get this working. So I've got to get this red one out of the receiver box, plug this back in, to channel 1, because 1 to turn, 2 to burn. Cut the zip tie things off. Luckily I have all these different plug extensions, and I can go to a balance port and just make it like this as well if I wanted to. But if I'm going to do all that, I'm going to just put it on the ESC battery lines and call it a day. Because when I grab this RC, whether I want to throw a 3S or 4S in it, I'd rather it be ready to run with whatever pack I stick in it. So I've showed this before on how I'm going to solder, cut out a couple little squares, kind of like I add Game Changer's fan regulator to the power and ground is all I'm basically doing. So I can get this RC up and going today without having to drive a couple hours to the hobby shop today. There we go. Now I need to strip this down. Just tinning the wires. Put some solder in here. Make sure I have a good connection. Electrical tape. And we'll zip tie it so the electrical tape doesn't come unraveled in the dirt and the water that we're going to run in. This will also stop the wire from pulling out. And then we can plug it in to this power line. Probably go underneath that. And zip tie this line so it's not flopping around. And then get our cover put back on. Good thing I know how to do all this stuff. So I'll turn this on. Let's plug this in and see if any smoke happens. And then power it up. we go. We'll work on this. And we have a ton more power. Look how fast that is. That thing is quick. And that's straight power off our battery powering this servo. And then the signal's just coming from the receiver. And then our light plug. This is what I meant about the Polaris, is that the light plug is not in the body, so you're not dealing with this. Now I do got to get a servo saver on it. Lights are working and we are good to go, and that plastic servo horn should snap before I break anything else until I get the new servo saver. So we'll just go that route for now, and I'll take a look at that servo and see if it's something I can fix. But there we go, both of them are fixed now. The RZR's fixed and the LMT is now fixed with a 777. Like I said, I would have rather done just the replacement. This is an S614S, and they have a 654S, which is the upgraded one from here that you can run on 7.2 volts, versus this one I think is just a 5 volt steering servo. So we could have just retuned the ESC to put out 7.4 volts and done it that way, because I do have a Servox servo here that if I wanted to order a servo horn, because this is also 25 tooth, I would have just done that rather than buying a Reef's. But I wanted to keep this, so I went in to buy a servo knowing that I have a good servo with good speed at home. But I didn't realize that, you know, the Spectrum, the 23 tooth, wasn't going to fit on this. I thought he ordered a 23 tooth Reef's out doing any research. But there we go. So I also want to show, by wiring it up direct, this one is a 4S 14.8 versus the 11.1 battery. This servo says up to 14 volts, so it'll just be crazy faster, running more power to it. So I can run 2S, 3S, or 4S, just like factory. Whatever the ESC can handle, the receiver or the servo will be able to handle. Now if you want to keep the same servo speed, then you need to install a BEC the same way. And then this red line would go to your BEC out, and then your BEC would wire in power and ground right here, and then you set the voltage on your external BEC. but that's just another device, small box, that you'll have to either stuff in this box, in the receiver box, or find a place to mount it somewhere out here. But because this is running, you know, 3S and 4S is what I run. I mainly run it on 3S. The servo will be able to handle that power. According to the back of this. Now I know it says voltage 10 volt to 14 volt, and we're 14.8, but should be able to handle it no problem. It's just going to be super fast, super sketchy, and there's no way to control the speed because you're putting maximum power to it unless you put a BEC in there. But this does work. That's why I wanted to show you 4S or 3S, because these are the two batteries I run, and it'll be fine, just so you guys are aware. It's just a cheaper way of doing it, and it's going to work great. Alright, hopefully this helps some of you guys. Either that, or just put the upgraded Servox, or not Servox, the upgraded Spectrum servo in there, and you'll deal with just a much slower servo. Plenty of torque, just slower. Alright, there you go. Hope this helps. And if you work at a hobby shop, tell the people before you sell them stuff like this. Definitely tell them that you're going to need more stuff to make servos that are this complicated, selling them to the public, because not everybody knows this kind of stuff. Luckily, I've been in the hobby a long time, and I can just make the correction, but I still had to order a part. So beats running back and forth to the shop. So I really wish people at hobby shops would tell people, or at least have the knowledge to know that, hey, you need a different servo horn or servo saver in my case, and you're going to need a pigtail or a BEC to run this, because this setup is going to be, with a BEC, almost a $250 setup. $150 plus tax brings you to like $180. Pigtail's a couple bucks, plus you'll need to know how to solder, plus a BEC. If you buy a Castle one, a decent one, you're going to be 50 bucks for that. So I mean, it just all starts adding up. So $250 servo upgrade, you know, versus the way I did it, I'm 180 bucks. So there you go. Hopefully this helps everybody. Unplug the lights, or just I'll unplug the battery. And it's definitely a lot better now with the steering. So I want to get the LMT out, and then definitely the little razor. Now, you saw the repair on this. I did buy the 1942, the little rod ends that will work on this, and yes, buy Traxxas, because it's a lot cheaper than buying Losi parts. If that was broken, I could have just fixed it this way, but kept the stock part, and it'll be fine. It just pulled that shock rod end out, which happens. It's glued in now, so if it breaks again, I'll have to put a shock rod end on it. But there's always that fuse point on where something's going to let go. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Be doing a final review on this Polaris. We're going to get it out one more time. Beat the heck out of it. And it cost nothing to fix the Polaris, but cost me, you know, $170 to fix the LMT because of the servo that I ended up buying. Really complicated servo, but that's how you put in a 777 into your monster truck. And I'll show you guys when I get the new servo saver, which they have through the Losi parts. the upgrade it. They'll sell you, I guess, the one. It might be a Hot Racing or some. It could be another brand for all I know. I know somebody makes an upgraded servo saver because I ordered it through the parts store or through the hobby shop. And so when I get that, I'll replace the regular horn with the upgraded part so that we have a servo saver on there and we don't start breaking links and that kind of stuff. And I do know that they sell the rod that goes from the regular servo horn to the links is now becoming a servo saver as well. So you can do it that way now. But at least any servo will go into the LMT because it's at the 25 tooth versus the 23 tooth. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. All right, so went ahead and got a call while we were out bashing that that our RC cars came in, but I ran into a dilemma. The back's all full, so you got to make it safe. I seat belted the Losi in, which only left one thing. She has to ride home on the roof. There's no other way to do it. I don't know how else to get everything home, but I think this should be safe. Let me know if you think Chloe will make it home, but you got to protect the gravedigger. Might lose a child over it, but you know, I can adopt. All right, welcome back. So got a little unboxing for everybody here for the New Year's. New Year's is coming tonight, so wanted to get these two RCs unboxed before the new year, get the video up, because these will be the last two RCs I unbox for 2020. Been a crazy COVID year, and I'm gonna have my daughter, because she rode home on the roof of the van, I'm gonna have her do the unboxing. The Son of a Digger is gonna be her RC, and the Gravedigger is gonna be mine. Hopefully these are as fun as CCXRC has made them out to be. I'm not really a crawler, monster truck, basher type of guy, but I do love a fun RC. So, and I think we can have a lot of fun with these two RCs.